The maker of Coors Light and Miller Lite is launching a new beer. Now, this one won't be known for what they're putting in it, but rather what they're leaving out. Gluten-free beer is expected to be rolled out next month in limited supply. Dietitian Allison Massey with Mercy Medical Center is joining us this morning with a look at the gluten-free trend. Good morning.
Good morning.
It really has become a trend. You see it on all kinds of packaging. So let's start there. What does that mean that something is gluten-free?
So gluten's a protein that's found in wheat, barley, and rye. And of course, when we're talking about beer, barley is a critical part of most beers out there.
Right, so I'm curious how they're going to make that gluten-free.
Yeah, it's really interesting. So the product's called Coors Peak, and what they're using is malted brown rice. And they're also using a protein from peas.
Okay.
So it should be really interesting.
Why do we need gluten-free products?
So specifically, individuals with celiac disease need to follow a gluten-free diet. You know, that's the only way to manage their autoimmune condition. For the rest of us, I think it's a matter of choosing products that are best fit for the individual.
I mean, this has become so popular and so widespread. How many people have this celiac disease? Because it seems like, I mean, are we catering to a small population, or is this more widely known than people think?
So generally, about 1 in 133 Americans have celiac disease. Okay. There's a strong genetic link there. So if you have family members, there are symptoms, but some people are asymptomatic.
And I hear a lot of people say, even if you don't have that, we could all benefit from getting some of the wheat and gluten out of our diet. Is that true? And if so, why?
So as a dietitian, I usually say if you don't have celiac disease, you don't necessarily need to eliminate gluten entirely.
Okay.
I do think we all need to think about our food choices, and some, of course, products are better than others. You know, I emphasize more kind of fruits and vegetables, which...
The gluten, though, talk about some of the things that's in.
It's in a lot of things, a lot of things. So, you know, and gluten-free products sometimes can be a little bit higher in calories.
Okay.
So, you know, when we're talking about this beverage, it's not a light product by any means. It's about 170 calories. So on par with, you know, some other kind of higher calorie beers out there. So again, it goes back to looking at the nutrition facts. Just because it's gluten-free doesn't mean it's healthy.
But again, if I don't have celiac disease or a problem with that, my body can process wheat and there's no issue. Is there a reason that I should choose a product that's gluten-free?
So not specifically, although we used to think some people had gluten sensitivity, and what we realize now is they may have a problem digesting foods called FODMAPs.
Okay.
And those are hard to digest carbohydrate foods, and gluten can be in a lot of those products.
So if you do need to stay away from gluten, is it safe to just, because I know sometimes the labeling can be tricky with how things are worded. So if it says gluten-free, are we pretty secure in saying, all right, there's no gluten in that, I can eat this?
So most of the time, yes.
Okay. Most of the time.
So I always tell people, you know, you do need to just double check, you know, especially people with celiac disease. They're very familiar with kind of even calling companies just to double check on products.
Are there words in the ingredients that we should be on the lookout for? Hey, if it has this in it, we know not to eat that.
There's quite a there's quite a long list of things that you really need to look out for.
All right, well, just good information to know. So if you have that disease, you already know all of this stuff and you're making sure, but the rest of us could maybe benefit.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.